Before I really understood the law of assumption, I would assume things that didn't benefit me. In reality, that's an illusion. We're all part of the same source. Non-dualism. Hello, everyone. It's Gigi, and welcome back to my channel. We are the Journey fam, and we talk all about the law of assumption and spirituality and self-development here. My mission is just to remind you of your own inner power and ability to live life on your own terms. So today's topic is interesting because it is related to the law of assumption, but it's also not directly related. And the topic is non-dualism, which originates from ancient Indian philosophical thought, Advaita Vedanta. I will work on my pronunciation. I am so sorry. Non-dualism is not a law like the law of assumption or the law of attraction. It is a school of thought. And I'll explain my thoughts on this, which of course, as always, I am only ever speaking from my own personal knowledge. So don't take my word as gospel by any means. I am not a certified expert in these topics. However, I have been learning different religious perspectives, different philosophies, different ways of viewing the world for many years now. I want to help you create your own set of beliefs that will serve you and will be constructive and generative in your life and not tearing you down constantly. I will link several books that you can read on the topic of non-dualism if you want to delve more into it. But I hope that this two-part series that I'm now creating will help you unlock a whole new level of awareness and peace of mind and realizing we are not defined by our circumstances or our desires or our ability to get those desires. You are just God experiencing itself. You are incarnate in this human body to experience singularity, to experience a singular perspective, when in reality, that's an illusion. And there is just this one consciousness that you are a part of at all times. We are all interconnected, and all the stress and the doubt and the anxiety and the fear that you're feeling, that is all imaginary. I'm not invalidating you by saying this, because I know it feels real, but the only real truth is that we're all part of the same source, the same consciousness. And this non-dual perspective really emphasizes that and explores that, how the illusion of separation is what creates so much of the suffering that we experience as human beings. And there is a book called I Am That by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Probably really butchered that pronunciation. I'm working on it. But in this book, he really delves into the non-dual perspective of life. I want to read it more in depth, but I've also read a lot from various sources that have helped summarize a lot of these concepts. And I want to read some snippets of things I found on the internet that summarized these profound concepts into bite-sized chunks really well, in my personal opinion. So, not coming straight from the source, but really helpful to apply to your daily life and to gain that bird's eye point of view that is so empowering. This is an excerpt from a non-dualism cheat sheet someone created on Tumblr. Shout out to It Go My Way. The moment you are aware of something is the exact moment it exists. It exists infinitely in many different realms of possibilities, but none of them are separate. The realms of possibilities, they're all just you. You are only ever experiencing you. All that can be perceived is done solely by you. It exists right now, and right now is all that will ever exist. Even when you manifest something and you tell yourself that now that you see it physically, it's real, it still goes away whenever the present moment ends and you're aware of something else. Why hold so much attachment to temporary things? Why give so much validity to one thing? Tell me, why would your awareness have prejudice or bias? As an infinite and absolute being, would God ever play favorites? No, never. Stop and sit with yourself right now. Understand that whether or not you see something or imagine something, you are still experiencing yourself. When you identify as the ego, you are taking on the burden of the brain, which is bound by logic, beliefs, thoughts, doubts, and other 3D oriented things. By assuming the role of the doer slash ego, you will never live in the present moment fully because the ego can't even understand it. At your core, you are awareness, you are consciousness, you are pure imagination. You are a spark of God, of infinite intelligence. And that's what this beautiful post was summarizing so well. And shout out to who wrote it, because it's so perfectly summarized how we are so much more than these physical forms and this density of this dimension. And when we can view the problems and the stressors in our life as just part of that illusion, that hologram, we won't feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders all the time. And that will free us up energetically to find solutions so much more easily. Because ultimately, when we do experience challenges in the 3D, it's making us better, it's making us stronger, it's making us more capable. And you don't have to experience them if you don't want to. You can just affirm that everything in your life is easy and perfect, and that will prove true in your reality. Remember how powerful your consciousness is. Through the power of your consciousness, you're holding together everything you see around you, the walls in your room, your furniture that you're sitting on, the threads in your shirt. This is all consciousness. That's wild when you think about it. The control you have over your well-being on a cellular, atomic level is immense. Outside sources will tell you otherwise, but you really have all the power within you. Have faith that you do have all the answers inside of you. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's super murky waters right now, the dust will settle. There will be clarity again. There has to be, because that's who you are at your source, at your core. You are pure clarity, pure unconditional love, pure light, pure consciousness. And that is that. So on that note, that is all we have for today. I cannot wait to do part 2. Let me know what your thoughts are on non-dualism. If you have been studying it yourself, if you have learned anything or have any questions, or if you want to discuss anything, let me know. I'm going to link above the last video I did answering your amazing questions. Please continue to ask questions that you might have. I think it's really helpful to help each other out and explore these topics to empower ourselves and just feel really good about how we're living our lives. So until next time, keep being amazing, keep remembering your inner power, and welcome to the journey, fam. Bye.